Hello there, you sexy bee-yatch. Welcome to uMgungundlovu, once the royal capital of the Zulu Kingdom. Nestled in the heart of what is now KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, this historical site offers a wee glimpse into the grandeur, power and culture of the Zulu people. So let's stop shitting about, wasting time, and let's just jump right into the past and unravel the rich tapestry of uMgungundlovu and fighting white people with spears. And remember, history isn't always pretty. Sometimes it's more like a car crash you can't look away from. Our story begins in the early 19th century under the leadership of King Shaka Zulu, one of Africa's most renowned and formidable rulers. Yes, that Shaka, the Shaka. This guy was a god among men, not literally, of course, because that would be stupid, but he could certainly kick your ass no problem at all, despite how hard you might think you are. I know this because he very recently kicked my ass all over in a game of Civilization 6, where he invaded me and made me rethink my bold strategy of sending spies into his country to steal technology for 300 years. Yes, that Shaka. He was an absolute boss. Shaka, born in 1787, united various Nguni tribes to form the powerful Zulu Kingdom. His innovative military tactics and fierce warriors quickly expanded the kingdom's influence and became the basis for every Britishman's nightmares for at least the next 100 years. In 1828, after Shaka's assassination by his half-brother, Dingane then became the king. It was during Dingane's reign that uMgungundlovu was established in the year 1828. This was one of many royal kraal maintained by this new king, and by far his most important. The name uMgungundlovu comes from the Zulu language phrase uMgungundlovu, which means the secret place of the elephant, symbolizing strength and majesty. But also, if you think about it, is an odd name for a capital city. Imagine if the Brits had named theirs the secret place of the posh Eton twats. I'm not sure how much of a secret you can keep a capital city, to be honest. Our capital city is a secret. Whatever you do, don't look over there at all the smoke and tall buildings and noise. And most definitely don't follow this road, which may or may not lead to our secret capital city. Unless, of course, you are a trader or merchant carrying much-needed supplies, because our capital definitely needs these supplies. But when you get there, remember, it is a secret, and you're not where you think you are. You are definitely not in London, despite what all the signs say. Leave when you're finished, and please come back soon to this secret place which doesn't exist, but also hurry back to it because we're running out of bread. This new royal capital, located on Lion Hill, just near the White Mfolozi River, became the center of Zulu political and social life. Secretly, of course. uMgungundlovu was more than just a political hub. It was a vibrant and bustling community. The city was meticulously designed, with a large central enclosure known as Isigodlo, reserved for the king's dwellings and his close entourage. And when we say entourage, I think it's safely assumed that we mean his favorite hot chicks and their fat booties, whose entire job was to A, be hot, and B, be there. It also probably included some more security guards with spears. Surrounding the Isigodlo were various huts and structures that housed the king's warriors, advisors, and their families. It was kind of like an ancient version of a gated community. But instead of neighbors, you have security, and instead of a community, you just have all your favorite hoes. Records show that, although Dingane never married, almost 500 of his favorite mistresses and female friends lived with him in his inner circle. And I suppose if you had that many friends with benefits, why would you ever want to marry and have yourself tied down to just one? The oval-shaped city contained almost 2,000 huts, which could hold up to 10,000 residents. That's total, not per hut. The huts were arranged in a circle and built 8 huts deep. The central circle area would then be used for gatherings, military parades, and a safe space for trading goods, etc. The circle-shaped arrangement of huts was then surrounded both outside and inside by 2 strong defensive palisades. One outer palisade offering entry to the city from a gate at the north side, and the second palisade with entry to the inner royal circle. The huts of the king's warriors surrounded this inner circle, which makes sense. If you're king, you're not going to send your best warriors to live off in the mountains, are you? I'm not a king, But if I did have my own personal army, I'd have them sleeping as close to me as possible. Which makes me wonder, does Elon Musk sleep with his security? I bet he does, and I bet that's why he's so happy all the time. I'd dance too if my sexiest security guard never left my bedside. Anyhow, I digress. The Zulu people practiced a communal way of life, deeply rooted in tradition and culture. Daily life in uMgungundlovu revolved around cattle herding, agriculture and military training. The city was also a centre for art and craft, with skilled artisans creating intricate beadwork, pottery and weaponry. Dingane himself was kept quite busy. His inner circle of women was split into two groups, known as the Black Isigodio, which were 100 of the king's favourite bedfriends, and the White Isigodio, which was all the women who the king had had presented to him by other local rulers. But Dingane still just didn't fancy so much. So, as you can see, the king was a very busy man, which makes you wonder how he could ever have enough time for stuff like politics and war. There was some time for executions, though, mainly on those who disagreed with King Dingane. On the ridge behind the city was an area known as Execution Hill. In the 1830s, the Christian churches were kind enough to send one of their reverends to try and help convert the pagan locals. One such man, Reverend Francis Owen, noted that Execution Hill was regularly circled over by vultures, who came to see the area as a fantastic place to swoop down for a free, fresh takeaway snack. And it wasn't just one man who would get the eternal beating of life. If one local chief was condemned, then all his followers would receive his same fate. Dingane would give his verdict to the guilty, who then had to traipse up the hill followed by their executioners, who would then promptly club them to death. The tranquility and prosperity of uMgungundlovu was short-lived, however. The kingdom faced numerous external threats, most notably from the British Empire. In AD 1838, Dingane orchestrated the murder of Boer leader Piet Retief and his followers at Execution Hill, leading to increased tensions with the Boers and British, as you'd expect. Right, now don't mind me for 20 short seconds, but our sponsor today would like to have the tiniest of words, and that is to let you know that they are literally the best company in the world for you wholesalers to order all your own custom kit. Doesn't matter what it is, t-shirts, bags, hoodies, ashtrays, pens, literally almost anything. No matter what it is, Hire will custom design it for you en masse. So don't forget, Hire for all your custom goods. And that's it, that's the sponsor over, and done in less time than it takes a Zulu to shake a spear. Efficiency, that's what that is. And now, back to the good stuff. Piet Retief was a member of the Voortrekkers, who were a group of Dutch settlers who had travelled north from coastal Cape Town to the South African interior regions beginning around 1836, their plan being to negotiate with the Zulu and hopefully get some land they could call their own. This did not go as well as they hoped. On February 6, 1838, Voortrekker leader Piet Retief made it to uMgungundlovu, where he met the king. The British missionary had warned Retief that he was very likely in danger and not to trust the king, but they didn't listen. Why would a Boer listen to a Brit after all? Dingane invited Retief and his party to witness a special performance by his Zulu warriors, and I think we all know where this is going. That performance involved marching the Retief group up Execution Hill, where the entire group of over 100 people, including Retief's own son, were then clubbed to death. Retief was kept alive until last, so as to make sure he could witness first the death of his friends and son. Jesus H. Christ, this story has taken a nasty twist, hasn't it? I mean, I tried to fit a joke and a laugh into each sentence, but this one's hard. And, as was custom for Dingane, the group's bodies were left to be eaten by the wild animals. I bet the hyenas love it, though. Hey lads, that Zulu king has stopped shagging for long enough to kill some folk again. Looks like free dinner again tonight. Yummy, yummy white meat bummy. After killing Piet and his chums, Dingane then directed his army against the rest of the travelling settlers who were camped at various sites nearby, culminating in the Weenan massacre of February 17, 1838, when a total of 41 men, 56 women and 185 children were killed. Yes, that's right, the children too. As well as this, all of their local native servants from the Khoikhoi and Basuto tribes were also slaughtered. In total, more than 500 people were killed by Dingane and his Zulu warriors, which is a shocking thing to hear, but also, what the actual fuck did these Voortrekkers think was going to happen? Did they really just think they could walk into the Zulu king's camp and ask for so much land, like they were just going to be given it? Hey, dude, you know that thing you've been fighting the British over for a century now, all that land stuff? Well, can we just have it? Is that okay? Can we just take the land? Yeah, we only want a quarter of your country. That's okay, right? Not a chance, silly white man, not a chance. But also, after massacring so many innocent Dutch, did the Zulu king really think there would be no repercussions? Also not a chance, silly not white man, not a chance. The Dutch returned, and this time they brought a wee army with them. The Battle of Blood River was fought on December 16, 1838, where a small, angry force of less than 700 Voortrekkers faced off against more than 25,000 Zulu. 700 versus 25,000 seems like an easy win for the Zulu, right? Wrong. The Zulu forces suffered a devastating defeat at the hands of the Boers. Records estimate more than 3,000 dead Zulu and just 3 wounded Boers. Never bring a spear to a gunfight, boys and girls. No matter how good you think your spear skills are, you're not as fast as that guy's bullet. This Battle of Blood River marked a turning point in Zulu history, significantly weakening their military might and leading to the First Zulu Civil War. In 1840, Dingane was captured at the Battle of Makonko by his half-brother Mpande, who had allied himself with the Boers. Dingane was quickly killed, and Mpande became the new Zulu king. Mpande's rise to power signalled the end of uMgungundlovu as the royal capital. The city was abandoned, and its once glorious massive sex tent fell into ruin. Today, uMgungundlovu stands as a memory of this history of the Zulu people. Archaeological excavations at the site have uncovered valuable artifacts, providing insights into the lives of its inhabitants. The area has been preserved as an archaeological and historical site/park, attracting visitors who seek to learn about the Zulu Kingdom. Except for me, because it's too far away and I have literally 0 pennies for an airplane to fly that far. And also, after hearing what happened to the other group of greedy white men who thought it smart to venture up that hill, I reckon I'd probably best stay very, very, very far away. In fact, yes, I think I'll just stay here and continue making these map videos. Because I enjoy doing these quite proportionately more than I enjoy being eaten by hungry hyenas. It's just a habit I have. As per literally every single time, this custom map was made for the game city's skylines too, because if I don't, then my life implodes as I wake up in the morning, not knowing what to do with myself. So I do this, because I love it, and it makes me happy and I can't be stopped. And I love to reimagine history. How might uMgungundlovu look today if it had never been abandoned? If you also need to know, then follow the link in the description below to grab the free map. And now for my wife, who at this moment is screaming at me like a banshee to remind you that if you don't like and subscribe, then she'll march me up that hill and club me herself. Which honestly sounds a bit extreme if you ask me, but it's still best not to take the risk. Now for that bit with the map information. Climate 5 to 28 degrees Celsius. Buildable area 51%. Outside connections: road, rail, shipping, air, power. Natural resources: wheat 131 square kilometers, forest 219 kilotons or 151 kilotons, oil 107 kilotons. Terrain not flat, very many small to medium hills. Right then, ladies and gentleladies of this thing I'm still calling the internet. Thanks for watching, and thank you for joining me on this exploration of uMgungundlovu. I hope you leave with a deeper appreciation for the history and culture of the Zulu Kingdom. And remember folks, history may be written by the victors, but it's often made by the rebels. Now don't forget to come back next time. It's the only thing saving me from my wife. Have a wonderful day. Peace, love, and uMgungundlovu.